Hello, my name is Aadil Hassan and I am working for Education Wise. I am going to be investigating media ownership for Unit 1, analysing media products and audiences. I have chosen Warp Films to investigate on, so sit back and enjoy the ride. Firstly, ownership. Before we get into the main detail, there are three key terms you need to learn about. Firstly, a conglomerate is the name for a very large company, and those companies who own a number of other companies, they are called subsidiaries, for example Virgin. Secondly, an independent company that are not owned by any other companies operate and makes products by itself, for example Warp. Finally, cross-media ownership is when a company makes more than one type of media product by owning companies that make different media. Background information about Warp. Warp Film was first established by Warp Records and is owned by Rob Mitchell and Steve Beckett. But after the death of Rob Mitchell in 2001, Beckett decided to continue with Warp Films, and the first film was called My Wrongs, shot in 2002, and it won the Best Award for Best Short Film at the 2003 BAFTA Film Awards and became the first short film DVD single in the UK market. Warp are independent companies, they operate and make products on their own and they run on a very small budget. Warp is also a cross-media company, which means they make more than one type of media product. Three Warp makes are films, records and TV shows, working alongside Film 4. Warp's low-budget films usually Film 4. Secondly, operating model. The operating structure for a film company, there are two types of structures, a vertical integration and a horizontal integration, but these do not apply to Warp because it is part of a conglomerate. Horizontal integration is when an organization develops by buying up competitors in the same section of the market. For example, one music publisher buys out other smaller music publishers. Vertical integration is where an institution has shares or owns each part of the production and distribution process, although Warp has to rely on other companies such as Film 4 to market their film. There are three different stages of the production process. Firstly, pre-production, meaning the task to do before production begins. This includes location scouting, props and wardrobe, identification and preparation, special effects, identification and preparation, production schedule and set construction. Then there's production, which includes filming of the actual movie, costume and makeup, special effects, stunts, catering to feed actors and health and safety. Finally, post-production, editing the movie, distribution of the movie, e.g. for example advertising, soundtrack and audio editing, adding more special effects and location. All of these departments work together in them to produce the film. Thirdly, product. Warp produce both films and records. Also, Warp have a niche audience, and as they cannot afford big action films, so in this case they stick to producing realistic drama, and people are appealed because they feel they can relate to this. The main products Warp produce are films. The major hit films include My Wrongs by Chris Morris. It was shot in 2002. It also won an award for Best Short Film at the 2003 BAFTA Film Awards. Also, it became the first short film DVD single in the UK. However, in 2006, Warp found more success with This Is England, which turned out as one of their most successful films in terms of profit, making around 204,000 in the UK and 5 million worldwide. Arguably, their most comedic film was Four Lions by Chris Morris in 2010. This gave Warp a staggering profit of 608,000 from just 115 screens with a budget of just 2.5 million. This was a huge profit and was rated in the top 10 films of 2010. Warp films are based on verisimilitude, meaning that their films realistically based and the audience can relate to it. Moving on to Warp Records, which are an independent record label founded in Sheffield 1989 by Steve Beckett and Rob Mitchell, passed away in 2001. Warp major success came on their second release, Dexterous by The Nightmares on Wax. This sold around 30,000 copies. Then this led to great commercial success. Because of their fifth release, the label had their first top 20 chart entry with LFO, which sold 130,000 copies and was 12 in the charts in the UK singles in 1990. What is Warp X? Don't get Warp Company confused with Warp X. as it was founded in 2005 and is a digital film studio that produces feature films in the UK with budgets usually between 400,000 and 800,000. Moving on to market position. We know that Warp are a successful company because they are still running and have enough funding, even though they are an independent company who fund themselves. Also, Warp Films are currently developing several television projects with Channel 4, the BBC and Sky, and have won many awards such as British Independent Film Award and a BAFTA. Warp Films operate both differently and similarly to other independent companies. For example, as their film target topics that no other film company would ever target, social realism, on a low budget, Warp also work alongside production companies such as BBC, Channel 4 and Sky who offer similar products as them. Warp are a success internationally as they have a company based in Sheffield and London and also an affiliated company based in Australia. Furthermore, Warp's success film This Is England was a huge hit in America as it was profited. There are also 4 lions worldwide too. Finally, competitors. Warp Films' main competitors are varied. Although Warp don't appeal to a big audience, they are still in competition with the likes of Warner Brothers and 20th Century Fox. Although this is tough competition because Warp run on a small and tight budget and Warner Brothers and Fox have huge budgets and have a bigger audience, whereas Warp only appeal to very similar audience. Following on from this point, Warp are also in competition with other independent film companies such as 16 Films and Seesaw Films. There is a huge market for these films as they are all based on social realism. They are not aimed at a large population and are made to look realistic with a low production. Warp stands out from other organisations because it produces different genres of films and tackles the issues on films that no other companies would dare to do. They are known for their risk taking.